In this video, I'm going to cover flushing my Bobcat that I'm going to keep for myself for tanning. And like I mentioned in the Coyote video, I have no intention of flipping the cat the other side out, first side out when I'm done. This is going to go right to the tannery. So what I want to do is go ahead and make sure that I have this cat totally fleshed and ready to go. One of the first things I need to do is brush the cat out. Make sure you use a stiff bristle, fur brush, hair brush, and make sure there's no cockleburrs. Bobcats aren't too bad, however, depending on where you live, Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, you can get into cactus needles. They do have sometimes some pretty bad cactus needles in them. So, and you want to make sure your tails are split as well. So I'm just over here brushing on my cat and brush him out all the way. Do each leg. Make sure there's no needles. Make sure there's no clumps of blood. Because a clump of blood is the same as a clump of cockleburr. Your knife will want to bounce off of them. Cats really are very easy to flesh. I'll say this, we got to be careful. We don't over flesh. We don't get too aggressive. We just need to get that fat off of them and we'll be in good shape. So just run that knife along your cat fur. There we go. And like I said, we all shed. Having a little fur in there, that's totally normal. Now that I have it done, we're going to turn the hide out. And let's go ahead and get this cat on our fleshing beam and get it ready to go. Come on, let's get her done. All right, I got my cat. Nice, long, and big. Now with him, because it's a cat, I did go ahead and skin out the paws. From this, it's going to take some extra needles to go ahead, pins to pin this open. And he has a sights tag, so I got a little bit of an obstacle I got to deal with because I already got that done. Where normally I wouldn't put the sights in till my cat is finished, but I was already up there with my boys and I just said, let me go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead and just like the Coyote, we're going to continue to keep this hide. We want to work in this zone right here. We don't want to keep working ourselves leaning over the top. This is our spot. So I'm going to readjust the camera a little bit so we can focus for this zone here. So let's do that. All right, well, we got our cat right here positioned for you. Hopefully this is going to come out nice. I'm going to start out first with just a little bit of a push. Got to be careful with my sights tag. Let's see if I can kind of, yeah, it's coming. They have such a stubby nose. But let's go ahead and get that head cleaned up. We're going to knife this excess. If you have a little bit, you might try doing a little slice over here. Be careful. There we go. I'm going to have to work around this sights tag. There we are. Go on. Get in there. Got it. Getting it. Now, like with a Coyote, we rotate the hide, not the knife. We want to be always working in the center. Keeping our work straight. Get over there. Good. He's cleaning up very nice. This will all be knifed off. Very easy. I'm going to kind of pull up just a hair because I'm going to try to get a little bit around that neck. There we go. Bobcats don't have a lot. There's not necessarily a big saddle or things like that to take off of. We're interested in taking the easy stuff off. All this is ready. You're going to be surprised, so don't overdo a cat. Now I'm going to go ahead here in the center. Let's push that anything down. Yep, that's it. That's it. There ain't nothing hardly on that back. They are a very lean animal. We're going to rotate the hide, get some of that cheek meat right over here. There we go. The rest of that can be knifed. See how I'm taking off a little off of there, a little bit of that meat. There ain't much. I'm going to pull this up, straighten it out, get behind the ear, and that's it. That was all there was on that. Let's rotate them. Rotate them. Just do this. Check around that bottom lip. There's not much I'm going to do on this board. If there is any, I'll check it over with my knife. Let's go ahead and check that neck out. Sometimes you'll find a little bit of fat that wants to sit right around the brisket, that chest area. And we usually find it underneath of these armpits. Not much. Cats are very lean. You almost know right where you're going on a cat. They're super fast. And we'll do the same thing here. Slide it down, kind of pin that cat leg in there to hold them. And let's get that fat from underneath the armpit. Very fast to flesh a cat. Very, very fast. If you're not fleshing your own muskrats or cats, I think you're overpaying to begin with, folks, because it is not hard to do either one. Muskrats, even as far as that goes, even fox are very easy. Let's get back up here a little higher on that body. I kind of got ahead of myself, but that's how easy it is. I'm going to go ahead and push that, let's push some of that down. There we go. Again, if it wants to come off, it comes off. There's a very small saddle that will come off just like that. We're getting a very thin saddle, and I'm not having to use the sharp side of my knife. I'm using just the pusher side. A spoon would dang near do it. There we go. There we go. Look at how easy this is. Rotate and repeat. Rotate and repeat. That ought to be a good title for a fleshing book is Rotate and Repeat. Just pushing that fat or that excess skin. You can see that, just like a skunk, you can see the stripes. Well, on a bobcat, you can see the spots through the hide. Just make sure you don't push it to the point where you actually see the real spots by cutting into the hide. We don't want that. Rotate them and repeat. There we go. This cat. Now cats will get a green belly very fast if you dawdle. If you dawdle too much and you don't get that cat skinned out, you'll end up with a green belly, and they will lose fur. Fur will slip on them very quickly. So get on with it. Just get it over with. Don't be lazy with them. They're too easy to deal with. They're very easy. I'm going to cut that. There we go. And we're going to push some of that excess skin off. We could also knife it off when we get it on the board. If it's not one to come off, don't beat the hide up. We'll knife it off when we have it on our board. If it wants to come off, wonderful. But some of this just doesn't want to come off. So I will knife off whatever the rest of this stuff is in a minute. And let's come over here to this side and let's push it. There we go. Got a nice, that's about, that's most of it from this cat. I mean, there just is not a lot there. But what's there, we got to get off. So this cat is done. He's not done, but he's done for this. I do have the tail cut all the way open. You can go around the outside edge here and verify there's no fat chunk. Sometimes there'll be a little fat chunk right on the old hip, but this guy's done. Let's go board my $1 million cat. So this is an Otter cat board, is what it is, and I like the solid board for cats. I really do. I know a lot of guys are doing split boards and all that, but for cats, I've always kind of enjoyed the solid board. But if you're going to go with I might do a split board on the other one, I don't know, but when we go to put it on, we're going to have, of course, the spots, the belly on one side. You can see the spots when I go to put it on. There's spots. It's pretty plain. Keep the legs on the front, or on the belly side, and we're going to hang this cat upside down. What a beautiful tom cat this one was. I kept the bottom lip. If I ever want to get it taxidermy, I think I still can with the amount of stuff that I left. Let me go ahead here and do a little knifing. I think it might be my other knife I need to use. Right here on this side, there we go. Take a little of that off. Come on. There we go. Getting it nice and clean. We'll worry about that when we get to it on the other side, but I saw that side. So I have that on there. We're in good shape. First thing I'm going to do is because I am not selling this fur, there's no big grand strategy of stretching the hide. There's no grand strategy of having a perfect skirt at the bottom to get the total number of inches. No. I don't have to worry about that. This is just for Ed Schneider alone, and I'm just trying to keep the hide from rolling up. So I'm putting enough pins in the tail so that the tail doesn't roll upon itself. Because I want that fur drying out. That's all I'm doing. There's none of this going for high dollar fur. I'm not going to use the same amount of pins I would if I was going for the big fur dollar, maybe. But if it's one to roll up on you, stick a pin in it. If the fur is one to roll, let's stick a pin in it. Because we want it to dry. That's all this has to do right now, is just dry. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use literally a tenth of the amount of pins I normally would. I'm going to put another pin to when I say I'm squaring it up so it don't roll. So the hide does not roll. All right, I got that. Now, on the leg side. Now I have my paws skinned out. And so what I got to do here is make sure that, and I got to stick this through the hide because I want to be able to get it out. There we go. So I have my middle board in there because I want to be able to get it off the board. So let's go ahead here and pin this foot, each leg. The front leg's going to be different, but the bottom legs, the hind legs, we're going to have to pin them open. You know, I appreciate Tommy and Jeff being kind to me and being patient, because it takes a while to cut out the feet, to get the claws out of them. But they were patient and I appreciate it. I guess I did the same for them a year ago, but it just takes a little bit of time. This cat is going to be he's such a reward to me on this trip. I really hadn't done very well catching cats the last couple of years. It wasn't my time. I have a little bit of loose skin right down here. Let's knife that off. There we go. I think it's easier right here than to take that, and I'll catch the rest of it on the other side. But I think it's easier to do it while he's on the board, to get that loose skin off. There we go. That you might have left on there. It'll peel right off. Oh, there it is. Just spread out the skin so this rascal stays wide open. He'll dry, he'll tan, and when you're done, you'll have fur still on your pelt by doing this properly. Repeat on the other leg. Cats just take a lot of pins in general. I know I'm doing this for myself, but if you're getting them long legs spread out and all of that, you about have to use extra pins to keep it from rolling upon itself. There we go. This, by January, well, in probably about, I don't know, 6 days, I'll have these all the way off and boxing them up to send to Iowa. And I could do it in less time, but I'm not in any big hurry. And there we go. Here we are. I think I got it. Now I'm going to go ahead. I got the face. I'm going to pin up that lower jaw. There we go. The lower jaw is pinned for right now, and I think I just got to do some knifing up around the ears. Make sure you guys, you can't see that. Let's go ahead and bring that down. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's do some knifing. Let's knife this out. Clean that area up. I haven't done the ear cartilages myself. My ears will be a little crinkled, but it's usually been pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and knife that part. There we go. No one's ever complained about how that fur looks when I'm done with it. At least they haven't complained right to me. There, I got it. Now, if you want, you could add some borax here. I don't have a lot of fur, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. What I am going to have to do here, folks, is I'm going to use these plastic clothes hangers. And I'm going to pin, or I'm going to push these into the legs of the cat to have them stand away from the body when they go to hang down. Oh, there. So I'll show you that to keep it away from the body. And there's not a lot I can do on this portion of their paws, but I can go ahead and have it hang away from the body. Let me hang this up and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. But I have everything done. I have my splitter board in the center. Let's go. Okay, so I have my Bobcat and I have the hangers to keep those arms away from the body so that everything can dry. It's all hanging up. I have to knife a little bit up there, but that I see I got on there. But other than that, he's hanging up. I'll get a fan on him and let him dry, but that's the hangers in the legs keep it from getting back on the belly, and that'll help that a lot. So let me keep going here. We got several more animals to do. Okay, trappers, this is my second Bobcat. We'll go ahead and take care of him. It's a little female, and we'll kind of get him or her going. And again, I'm just pushing up around that head. Not hard to do, folks. Just most of that's very good. And like I said, not having a sights tag would have made it easier, but rotate that head. Let's get him in there, a little short stub nose. And push that gristle off so that we can knife it in just when we get it on the board. Okay, looking pretty good. I'm going to rotate just a tad. There we go. Got a little cheek meat off of it. Let's get some of that off. I've already brushed this cat out. This little cat's even leaner than the male. And I'm going to rotate it back to the center here. Let's get up around that head, the neck area. Getting a little bit, not much. And just scraping. Not hardly anything's coming off of my knife. Let's rotate that. Let's rotate the pelt around. Just clean it right up. Yeah. It's not much. And we can knife off that, I believe. So now I'm going to pull them up and just push a little bit. I can see some spots coming through. Wonderful. Let's get to that. The next side of the Bobcat. There we go. It's currently 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I guarantee you by 9 o'clock, this pelt will be dry enough for me to actually flip if I needed to. If you're going to turn the hide for sales, you're going to want to do it in about, well, keep checking it. But look at the spots coming through that, through there. That cat has beautiful clear spots. There we go. All right, not getting too far ahead of myself. Let's rotate. There's that armpit. Always have a little bit under the armpit. Always do. Make sure you get it. Yep, there's. So rotate it. There we go. And let's go back to pushing. Rotate. Just take off what wants to come off. You're going to get a fine amount of a saddle, but that ain't much. Come on off of there. I can see a little bit right there in that arm. Right at the brisket area. All right. Let's be careful. Yeah. And if it don't want, I'm gonna. There we go. Got that off. It just was a little ornery right around that elbow. But now we got it. Well, this is a young female. The teats should not be too big on me. And shouldn't be too bad of a problem. But again, if you feel that knife bump up, you stop and investigate what it is. You don't want to go too much because you'll regret it. Okay, rotating it back around to the belly, getting back to them beautiful spots, and being easy. I don't want a teat to be cut off, or you know what I mean, because I ran that knife on it. Just being easy. Rotating it. I about got it. Definitely takes longer to do the pinning than it does the fleshing on a Bobcat. because that's how fast this comes off. I just pushed all of this off, folks. I'm just pushing. I'm not slicing. I'm not having to do anything. All of this is just peeling right off of there. And we get down to the point, we'll use our knife. We'll use our knife when we go to put it on the board. So as we do it right, again, my light over here is not as much as good as I would like. That's a garage door issue. And let's do the same thing here. Look at how fast that's going. All right, I think I'll just knife the rest of that off. My cat is done with the flushing beam. We'll put it on the board and go move on. All right, let's go ahead and use an A-frame board for this small cat. Same thing applies, the belly on the belly side and all the above, and the back stays on the back. Put that guy over there, get him nice and tight, bring it down, and it won't take much opening on this. I mean, this guy is, it won't. They're so narrow, there's not a lot to open up on a cat. But we'll open it a little bit because we do want it to open a little bit, folks, because that's how we can get it out of it. Once this guy dries, it'll be like a banjo string. So I'll go ahead here and let's put that down to where I think you can see. There we go. So what I'll do here is I'm going to go to one side of here. I'm going to come here to that side right there. I'm going to pin the tail down and loosen up my frame. Let's open this cat up a little bit. Don't want to go crazy. There. I got the cat opened a little bit. Now you could take a mink board, put a mink board in the middle here, and that would give you a middle piece. I'm just going to go ahead and do this guy on the side, on one side. And the same thing applies as we talked about the other cat. You just don't want the fur rolling up on itself, the pelt. We want it to dry out properly. So I'm just going with about half the amount of pins that I normally would. Let's pull this guy on over to that side. This is going to be, again, this is going to be for me. So I'm not worried about having the fur just on the perfect side of it. And I just want to show you a different kind of A-frame that you can use. You know, I used a solid board a minute ago, which I like the solid boards better for cats. That's my personal preference, but you do you. And we're just going to pin these legs up so they don't roll. There we go. If the fur wants to roll up on itself, put a pin in it. There's a lot I'm gonna cut some of this back. There we go. I had to trim that one a little bit. It's amazing how fur handling is so darn rewarding. If you haven't done it and you want to deepen your experience with fur trapping, I highly suggest learning to fur handle. I've given I give a lot of trapping instruction, and there's been a couple of guys who actually we did fur handling. That was the topic. They wanted to handle the fur. They wanted to be better at fur handling, so we did instruction on fur handling. I think that was a good choice. I wish I would have done it when I was younger. There we are. Let me go ahead and knife this. Get that loose little skin out of there. Same thing here. All right. I'm going to pin up the front lip or the bottom lip, and I need to cut. Let's back this up here a little bit. Yeah. Let's go ahead and cut this skin up around the ears. Clean up this little female cat. There we go. One ear done. Rinse and repeat. Very good. Got that done around the ears. I'm going to put a couple pins, and I have to clean this rump up a little bit. There. Looking better. Got it, got it. Let's stick a pin. You need to keep that hide from rolling up on itself. But I think we got it, folks. I think this cat is done, and I'm going to add my 2 plastic pieces to the front again, to the front legs so they dangle. But we got this cat done. We'll keep moving here.